Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we got a new edition of Pick a Premium. This time we're covering the Cheshire. Got Fraser on the screen there, AP Focus. That build I may reconsider once I've ground out the whole British Heavy Cruiser line. But here's the key to the Cheshire right there. Citadel, gigantic, nose, armor. We can bounce cruisers, we can't bounce battleships. So that's the key to the ship. You get wrecked if you get shot, basically. You got to play the Cheshire very carefully. Those type of ships usually can work better with divisions just because you can get more reliable spotting with having a reliable destroyer that you know you can count on, and that way you can utilize the islands, potentially use smoke, or do whatever you can do to remain alive throughout the game. As a random cruiser player, takes a little bit more skill, a little bit more game awareness. You can't be getting shot from angles that you're not expecting because you will not survive very long. So pick a premium. Briefly how this works, go into the comments of this particular video, pick any premium you want, go ahead and write it out in the comment, hit enter. That'll be your vote for the next edition of Pick a Premium. Whichever premium ship gets the most votes, that's the one I'll cover for next edition. So go ahead and check that out in the comments. Benson, right off the bat, he's dropping smoke. Now this is not a strong play to make in randoms usually. As the Benson player, I usually am not going to be dropping smoke for a random cruiser player, because your random cruiser teammate, Billy Bob Rando, usually is not going to understand how to play the smoke, and they're not going to even be inclined to utilize it. But the Benson, if he drops the smoke and he has a cruiser that's actually willing and able to utilize the smoke like I am, well, then it does become a very strong play. That's one of the strengths of the American destroyers, is the long duration, 2-minute long smoke cloud. And you can get huge lengths on those clouds too if you're spreading them out. So not a play that I would normally make as a random or a destroyer playing with randoms, but since he made the play there, we're going to go ahead and park in this cloud and hopefully utilize this smoke. Now, unfortunately, he's going to push into the cap, which is a good strong play. I like that, but immediately he gets spotted and he gets shot by the Akazuki. That's the tier 7 gunboat Japanese destroyer, not the tier 6 torpedo boat. And that's a dangerous threat for the Benson, regardless. But the thing is, now he just took a shot. Looks like from the battleship, the Massachusetts, and he took a shot from me as well. So he's getting support, this Benson, from his teammates, his support ships. But the Akazuki, he was actually he was closer to his support ships than the Benson was. And I don't really know how the Benson went down that fast. I've watched this a couple times and played it live once, and it's happened so quick that I don't really know what happened. But anyway, Akazuki wins the fight. Now I'm wary of getting torped here, so I'm going to get out of this cloud as soon as possible. We're going to note that we don't get spotted when we come out of this. Now check the blue ring on the map. It encompasses sea fully. So if that destroyer is outside of that cloud and he's still in the cap, which we know he is because they're capturing the base, then we would have gotten spotted there. So we know for a fact that he's currently located in that cloud. Go ahead and launch a couple of random torpedoes that way. And then as we pull around this island, that's why we waited to shoot. Now we shoot, and by the time the Richie gets his guns over on us, we've already disengaged. We've dropped spot. The Akazuki in the cloud shot once. He got us a little bit, but didn't really do any damage or anything. And that's a nice safe play there. So had the Akatsuki been out of that cloud, which is basically what he should do once he's killed that Benson, he doesn't need to be sitting in there anymore. It's actually a bad play to be in there because it's an attractive target for the torps, and we've already determined that he's in that cloud. But he didn't need to be in there. He could have just left the cloud, spotted me. Then the Richie probably would have blown me up with one shot. So unfortunately for him, he gone, because we got him with one of those torps there. And that'll wreck the rest of his game. And, that's kind of what we're doing with these cruiser torps in general. We're going to see more of a defensive torpedo strike out of the Cheshire coming up. But usually, as a cruiser player, I'm usually launching these torpedoes as zoning torps, which is what I would define as torps that you just send into a given area with the idea of making that area dangerous to be in, rather than targeting a ship, seeing what the aim indicator suggests their heading and speed is, and then launching at that specific target. Just get the torps in the water. Send them out as quick as you can on reload. And, you know, that's, in general, both as a destroyer and a cruiser player, I'd say the majority of my torpedoes are zoning torps. But cruisers, definitely. You know, I mean, you don't typically want to be that close to your opponents in the cruisers, so you shouldn't be trying to get in torp range with the idea of, you know, launching some sort of torp strike. Just get them in the water. You might get a lucky shot there. You know, it seems lucky, but it was an educated shot. But there's still a lot of luck involved, you know. But here, Richie's pushing forward. Now I was trying to get out of there, but the Massachusetts, he's pulled forward. He's kind of playing the island. He blocked us, and now the Richie is pushing forward aggressively. I don't know if he's trying to kill me. I would assume that's the case, but he might be just rushing the Massachusetts, maybe even trying to get a ram off since there's a health discrepancy. But we're backing up. We don't want to get spotted if we can help it, but we definitely don't want to be with the line of sight with that guy's AP loaded at us, because he can definitely kill us with one shot at this range. As soon as he's coming around there up to speed, though, we launch a couple of defensive torps. And this, again, this isn't a position I'm seeking out. I'm not trying to be this close to the Richie, but since he's rushing us, we do have the ability to defend ourselves with the torpedoes. And as a battleship player, you always kind of have to be wary of rushing cruisers or even battleships that have the torpedoes, because that's what can possibly happen. So New Orleans finally comes around. Note the game clock. It's about 5 minutes into the game, and he's just now getting in position to take his first shot. And that's why I don't really like playing on that eastern side of the game. He's been out of the game for so long here that basically a third of the game has gone by before he really gets into the game. Now, as I'm watching this replay, look at the map over there. We got a plane flying around on the east. So that's a clue I missed when I was playing this game. I was definitely not expecting another ship to be over there, because this New Orleans, again, was already wildly out of position, in my opinion. I would never bring a ship over there except for very rare instances, but never, ever, ever as an opening move. And now you can see on the map we do have another cruiser emerging around that island. And this is, by the time we see him, it's going to be about 8 minutes left on the clock. So that's nearly half the game that York took to get into a position where you can even see someone. So that's two ships that were basically, the red team was down, you know, for about a third of the game. They had two ships that were not in position to do anything. And note that had they had those two ships, they probably would have been kicking the crap out of us, because, you know, they'd fought us evenly in terms of ship count, and they got map control. They got A and C right now. We got the middle cap. Had those guys been in the game shooting the whole time on reload, I think red probably would have swept this game. But, you know, it's a common mistake. I don't ever recommend taking ships over there. There's no reason to with any map configuration. There's no reason to on capture the base or domination mode. So until they change the map and put some sort of objective over there or something, it doesn't work. Anyway, he finally comes around the island, then gets blasted by the Massachusetts, and we'll combine to take this guy out with ease. But again, if you've been noticing what's been going on here, I want to get on this cap. I wanted to kind of get on there aggressively. I don't like sitting here this close to a cap that, you know, we numerically have the strength to take, but, you know, I'm in the squishy Cheshire. I can't get in there. I can't slug it out with these ships. So we're getting, you know, he got killed there before the torps in, but we would have gotten him. But, you know, and again, we're running into this guy. Whenever this happens, he's like off his gas right now. I don't know if he's ticked at me. I'm obviously ticked at him. Both guys just have to disengage here. You know, I played God knows how many games, 10,100 or something like that. And I can count how many times that I believe someone intentionally rammed me in that period on probably 2 or 3 fingers. Like, it almost never happens that you guys are intentionally ramming each other. It's always just inattentive, looking down the binoculars, or not paying attention, or being preoccupied with something else, you know? So just recognize that, okay, we rammed each other. Yeah, you're going to get ticked off because whatever you're trying to do, you're being prevented from doing it by the guy that's supposedly on your old team. Frustrating, yes, but just figure it out. Back up, disengage, let the situation resolve, and then get back at it. You know, if you're fiddling around trying to push each other around, once you get into those unintentional rams, then the situation takes a long time to get over, and it's not good for anyone. So anyway, now we're going to head towards B. You can see we're up 3 ships. Now, it's not completely over, but look at their destroyer on the map. If that's in fact where he is, then the reality of the situation is he's bogged down fighting a battleship that's parked on the moon, and he's not trying to win the game. So I'm hoping for red team's sake that the destroyer is in B over here. He should be over here spotting. They're going to have this Atlanta on the cap, but like imagine right now, you'll see where the Atlanta is. Imagine he had good spotting here from that destroyer, just parked directly north of the cap. He could have shot salvo after salvo after salvo, and I ain't pushing into that. I'm going to turn around and say, yo, Massachusetts, you deal with that. Massachusetts ain't going to want to get splashed in the eyes with those golden showers, and he might even burn to death, or he might turn around, and that potentially changes the whole situation. Then they got 2 caps, then they're taking ships off the board, then the score starts to go back in their favor, but the Atlanta, he's sitting there blind, he gets his, crap kicked in by I hit him, the Massachusetts hit him, the Vlad hit him, he had no chance. And look at the destroyer, torping battleships, out of position, floating around in outer space, irrelevant to the outcome of the game. Very, very, very common mistake for destroyers to do, and this is throw territory. The Benson is not, oh, he killed him, cool. He got his 100 points, now what? How are you going to defend B when you're way over there, you're 5 minutes away? No chance. And they got no chance to come back in the score. So destroyers, let the dream of torping these irrelevant battleships go. All right, it's wrecking your lives. It's causing losses for you and your teammates. Just let it go. That guy was doing nothing. It would have taken him 25 minutes to get back into a relevant position. You, meanwhile, you're spotting. You're getting that assisted spotting damage. You're helping capture B, and you're wrecking the blue team. You're winning the game. So, easy thing to fix. Just stop torping battleships that are way out in the middle of nowhere. Play the caps. Kill the destroyers. Spot ships for your team. Win rate goes up. Very easy, but easier said than done, no doubt about it. Now, just as we wrap this up here, we're going to be in destroyer hunting mode, and I'll give you a couple tips. As we're pulling forward here, once we capture the base, we're going to move forward just a little bit, and then I'm going to fire my guns. It'll look like I'm just kind of a goofball, but what I'm really doing is expanding that blue detection ring on the map to the size of the white ring. Whenever you shoot, that ring temporarily expands. Now, if that destroyer is in between the blue and the white ring, the blue is the detection ring, the white ring is the max firing ring. If he's in that zone and I shoot, then he'll spot me immediately, so I'll get a clue as to where he is. But now we're spotted, and I'm telling my team, go around the south of the island. I think he's to the north. That's where I'm going to go. And you can see that's where he actually is. But I want to make sure we're covering this guy. We're not letting him squirt free. And, go ahead and get on the cap, because if this guy's going to run away, might as well play a nice, solid game and make sure we wrap up the win. Anyway, as soon as we come around, we turn, and you can see we dodge the torps with ease there. Assume the Benson's only play really is to torp us, so just assume the torps are in the water. Once, you've gotten clear of the island, just turn, dodge the torps, problem solved, go ahead and gun them down. Easy game. So overall, pretty effective Cheshire game there, but hopefully it showed you how carefully you got to play the ship. You can't be doing anything crazy or you're going to have a bad time. So that'll do it for that one, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. Lots of World of Warships coming all the time. Questions, comments, leave your votes in the comments below, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.